Hi, welcome to Bookwood. I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. If we haven't met before, my name is Mashou and I create bookish and journal related content over here on YouTube. Welcome in my weekly carousel vlog. This is a format of vlogs in which I talk to you about the books that I have read the last week and that in which I share with you some of the activities that I have done alone or with my family. I also try to share with you in those the beauty of the nature around us, the woods of Bookwood. Today I took you along with me on a walk through our fields, so not ours personally, but the one around our village, since that for the first time in quite a while we had lower temperatures and some clouds in the sky, which made walking in the countryside way more agreeable, and so we decided we would go on a walk like that today. And I'm going to take the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the books that I've read. I didn't read that much this week, to be honest. I have been setting up my reading journal, which took some time. And also the first book that I want to talk to you about took me so long to get through. That would be Emily Wilde 3, and I always forget the English title. I read in French, so let me see. It is Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. And I was a little bit disappointed by this book. I very much enjoyed the first one. I hoped the second one would be more like a bridge book or have a little bit of a second book syndrome, but in the end it was even better than this one, or at least to me. So we are back to Emily Wilde. We pick up where we left at the end of the second book, and Emily has decided to get Wendell's kingdom back. I will not go into more detail if you haven't read these already. Oh, now I have the sun in my eyes. And I wanted out of this to discover a lot of the fairy tales that are being told, instead of the focusing on one tale as a basis for the saving of the kingdom. That was interesting because it shows how you can use tales to have them say what you want. It also raises the question if the future has been written and if you have to follow the written or the paths that were laid out for you. But to me, it felt very long. It felt very uneventful. And I don't know, I started this book on Tuesday and I finished it on Sunday morning, which is extremely long for me, for about 400 pages. And I have had this feeling before. It's like, I want to read this book. I really do. But I am not drawn into it. I am not enthusiastic about it. But I don't want a DNF. And at several points I thought, well, you're not making any progress. This book is not making you want to pick it up. Just let it go and pick up something else. And then I was like, it's so stupid. I am almost there. I really want to know how this story ends. I really want to know how this is going to turn out. And so I kept on going, and I wonder if that is a bad attitude. What do you think? A book that doesn't make you want to read it or pick it up, a book that drags along like I had with this one, is this a book you DNF, or would you still, like me, hang on there? Because at the end, I'm glad that I finished this series, that there was this type of conclusion. At the end, it wasn't a bad book at all. It was just maybe not what I wanted it to be. But overall, well, it concludes the story and it stays really close to what this franchise is. And yeah, I'm happy I read it. I'm sad it took me so long and that it didn't enthusiast me more. Let's walk a little bit further before talking about the next books. Since I didn't particularly read for any readathon this week, we decided to hold a game afternoon to honor the GameNight Athon. And together with the kids, I picked out the games in our collection that hold some sabotage elements, only more than 2-player games, because we do have a lot of those as well. In honor of the sabotage edition of Labyrinth for this readathon. And the first game that we decided to play is Kang-a-roo. It is a game that is very popular in family game nights. It's very easy. You play a card, get the kangaroo of that color, and at the end it's the one with the most kangaroos who win. But you cannot avoid at some point to take away the kangaroo from another player, which is the sabotage element. The next game that we decided to play is Santorini. This is a game that is 2 players but has a team mode in which 2 teams of 2 people go up to each other. I play in one team with Merin and the boys play together. We also do play the basic variant of this game. You can add in some cards that will give special powers, but that's slightly too difficult for our younger players. And the whole idea is that you have to get one of the pawns of your team up to the 3rd level of one of the buildings. So each turn you move one spot, you build one part of a building, and you can not go more than one level up at once. And of course the idea is to block off other players so that they do not achieve this before you do. This little card game is called Pipolo, and it is very much based on a 90s game that was called Liar, I think. The idea is that a first card is played and this animal is or with feathers, naked, with hair, or dressed. And after that, every player needs to play a card declaring that his animal is in the same series of the one that was played first. But of course, the idea is that you maybe do not have that card and you can lie, and then somebody has to call you a liar. And if they are wrong, they get all the cards, and if you did lie, you get all the cards. The kids do like this game a lot. This one is called Kuna Yala, and it is one of Niklas's favorite games because of the ocean theme, of course, but also because of the strategy element. At each turn, you pick 2 cards. You cannot see it. I should have filmed it a little bit overhead. You choose the fish you have, and you play one in your coral reef, and you play one into the reef of another player. Each of us has a fish that we try to collect, but the other ones cannot know which fish you have. And by playing in others, you might curse fishes and have them to turn around so that they don't give any points. You can add in sharks that eat the fish. And so you have really carefully try to have like all elements to get your points. Of course, the blocking or sabotaging element is in making sure that other players got curses in their reef or sharks. And it was the first time Merin and Naoki played, and they had some difficulty with it. It takes a little bit of exercising before you really get the finesse of this game, but once you have it, it is a lot of fun. We didn't play any of the other games that we took out of options because playing these 4 games already took some time, and the younger ones do not play for hours at the end. So after these 4 games, they were a little bit done with playing games, which is completely fine. So maybe we will show some of these games in a later video. Let me know in the comments down below if that would interest you. We could also make a little section of 2-player games in which annoying each other is a bigger part of the game, if you would like. Again, let me know if you would like one over the other, or if you would like to have both in some of our upcoming vlogs. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these games, and never hesitate to ask more information about them in the comments as well. On this last little stop, I want to talk to you about my little reads. So in my TBR game, I had myself 3 squirrels to read for, and I have chosen to read 3 volumes of the manga Moriarty, the Patriot. I had already read the first 2 in this series because my husband bought them for me like 2 years ago. And then we intended to buy the rest, and that never happened. So I decided to get them from the library. In this series, we are revisiting the Sherlock Holmes stories by Arthur Conan Doyle. but then in the point of view of Moriarty. And we start off with this rich family of which the eldest son is not happy with how England is functioning in the 1800s, and so he decides that he will overthrow our quite caustic society and to make sure that everybody has the same options in life. What I like in this one is first the retelling aspect and seeing the story through someone else's, in this case maybe even the villain's eyes, but also the fact that the stories are not just taken from afar. No, the different storylines that there are for Sherlock Holmes are taken in here, put in another context, and then solved in another way. And what is also very fun is that Moriarty basically creates the detective of Sherlock Holmes and uses him without him realizing it to serve his plans. I really enjoyed these first 3 volumes. So in the first 2 we are more like setting up the time period and how things became how they are for Moriarty, and then in the next one he has decided that Sherlock Holmes, who he meets in the second one, has to be tested to see if he could play a role in his plans, and this book is about that. I will be reading 4 more in this series next month, and I am already looking forward to that. We are nearing the end of our walk and also the end of this video. If you want to discover what we are up to next week, what books that I am going to read for GameNight Athon, let's see if the camera flies away with the wind, then you could choose to subscribe to this channel. Just follow along, you can easily find it back. You can turn on notifications, then you will be notified as soon as I have a new video coming up, and you don't have to even look where my channel is. You can just click on the notification. And if you really enjoyed going on this walk with us and seeing some of the board games that we picked out for GameNight Athon, then you could also like this video, which will allow other people to discover this channel and maybe also have a good time. I wish you a fantastic upcoming week. See you soon!